Alright, so today is February 22nd, 2023, and just a couple of real quick little updates. I changed a little something back here. I had a piece of plywood cut out here, and I had it just cut square on the ends, and then I had it tapered out this way to be wider there, the 39 inches of the mattress wide there. I just didn't like what it did for the space back here. It was just coming out a little too much, and for a single bunk, it doesn't really need to be that wide anyway. So I cut this down to, I don't know what it is, 32 inches, and it's square everywhere. But I did extend it out, and the reason I had to cut a new piece of plywood was because I decided I might as well butt it up against the bulkhead here, so I can put a nailer on or a cleat on underneath there. Now the thing is, I can't finish this, of course, until I get the planking on, so that I can, have something to go down to in these areas. But I think this is going to work better. What I will probably do here is, of course, the mattress is going to be square, so I'll probably run a header here to hold the mattress in, and then build something here to, hold odds and ends or whatever, a few books or phone or whatever. And I'm actually planning on doing that on these sides here too, in the space that I've got between the bunk. There's going to be a 8-inch runner coming up here to hold the mattress in, and then hold you in, and then I'll probably put some sort of cubby holes back in there for storage. And then back here, I thought maybe I could put just a little bit of a hanging locker right back in here. You got a few things you want to hang up. I don't know, and that was something I've read in several different books, or a couple books for sure, that there are better ways to use your space than hanging lockers. They're inefficient use of space, and your clothes that are hanging up in them, they wear out because they're swinging anyway. So they're not the best use of space. Drawers, actually, bins are probably the best use of space. I did move my ladder here too. Since I had it here, once the bed's in place, you're not going to be able to get up very easily there. So I moved it over here into the bathroom, which, eventually I'll have to put, but I'm trying to get these big pieces in now is what I'm aiming to do, which the other one is over here, and that's the bunk for this side that's going to fit back in there. And then, of course, in here is the steps coming down, the companionway coming down, and the shower. All right, so that's what I've been doing back here. Look out, cat, we're coming down. So yeah, this is all getting a little tighter, but at the moment I can still get in there and do things, so that's what we're doing. Okay, and another thing I did is I worked on plumbing my shower sump pump here, and I got it hooked up. I've got 3/4 inch PEX going forward to the tank, to the gray water tank. And then I put some 3/4 inch flexible going from the tank to that PEX then. And I hooked it up on this end, same way. Only on this end, I went 1/2 inch pipe. I went from the PEX, I converted it to 1/2 inch pipe. And then I went into this 1/2 inch fitting down here. Now there's a strainer on that sump pump and that shower sump pump, so we shouldn't really have any large chunks of anything coming through here. I don't see any reason why the 1/2 inch wouldn't be adequate. And I tested it. Just took the cover off the top of that sump and poured water in it from up in the engine room, and yeah, it moves the water in a hurry. So, of course, when you get more water in the gray water tank, it's going to meet a little more resistance. But yeah, it worked fine, and I've got really nice access to it through this access plate up on the engine room floor. So that should all work. So that part is done. I guess one of the next things I'm going to start working on will probably be doing a little bit of the wiring, especially in particular getting the wires for these tanks sensors, the water level sensors, getting those wires run. I picked up a spool of wire. I think it's 5 strands, so I should be able to get that, because only 2 wires run to each configuration, or each set of wires here. I mean, it looks like there's a bunch of wires, but they're not. There's only just 2 wires. A ground wire, and then 1 signal wire, which is also your positive wire. Yeah, positive, yeah, signal wire anyway. But anyway, so I've got these 4 tanks, then the 1 tank in back to run wiring, and I might as well get that done now. Of course, now I got to decide where I want to put the the sensors, or the displays. And I suppose they could just as well go in the galley here somewhere. There's no particularly good reason to run that stuff up into the pilot house. And I've been thinking about that. A lot of people have all of their switches and everything in the pilot house. You can turn everything on and off from the pilot house, which is fine, but is it really that necessary to run all that wiring up there when, like the gray water tank, when I want to pump it out? I could just as well do that from down here. I don't see any real reason to have that run up to the pilot house. I mean, you can't switch the tanks or whatever, and if you're filling tanks, that's going to be done from in here in the engine room, because the water maker is going to be on the wall back here. So I really don't see any reason to run the displays up into the pilot house either. In fact, the less I run up there, the better, because obviously the pilot house is going to have to come off the boat for transport. So yeah, we're going to run probably a DC breaker panel down here, along with our inverter and whatnot down here. Probably power switches, all that stuff go on that wall behind the stairs here. And like I've said before, I think that'll be a good place for it. But anyway, that box, shower sump box, is right down here. You can see it where it comes out here. Those boards come out, and I have perfect access to it, so that's nice. And it still leaves us access to everything else. It's not in the way of anything else, at least not at the moment. So we'll have to do something over in this corner at some point for an exhaust system. We'll have to do a cutout there for a water lift muffler. But yeah, I'm starting to think about that a little more too. I was going to build one. I don't know. I'll see about ordering one, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I got more plumbing to put up back here for the day tank filter and all. But that's not going to be that big a deal, plumbing that. Other than that, I was going to put a little bit of a shelf or workbench type thing in here. But I suppose I should hook up that fuel filter and stuff first to see how much room I've got. But if I've got 3 feet here or whatever, give me a little bit of room to work on something. I mean, not a big area, but I did see in one boat a guy had a workbench that actually suspended above the engine. And of course, when he was underway, he raised it up and then he lowered that down to above the engines. Gave him a 6-foot workbench or whatever, which not a bad idea. I don't know if I'll do it or not, but not a bad idea. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other options I have here. I'm going to have to put a fair amount of storage in here too, for spare parts and oil and coolant and all those things. I'll have to go back in here somewhere, filters and all that. But yeah, we don't need to worry about that just yet either. But anyway, I ordered some pans, baking pans that would fit my oven. I got about 17.5 inch width by 14 or 15 inch depth. 14 something depth, I think. So I ordered these pans, and they advertise them as 10 by 15s. Well, and they are indeed 10 by 15, but that's 10 by 15 cooking surface area. God, I wish they'd specify that. Anyway, so they're too wide to fit in my oven. I do like these pans, though. They're real highly rated. I think they're going to be good pans. But so I think what I'm going to do is probably just cut one of the handles off on the end here. Maybe make it warp. I don't know, but we'll try it and see what happens. Maybe someday I'll come out here and bake some cookies or something and see how that works. But yeah, that's where we stand as of today. I'm kind of trying to decide what to do next. Like I said, I think I'll do a little bit of wiring probably. The plumbing is, mostly done, other than the bathroom back there, which of course I haven't started on that yet, so I can't plumb that until I get fixtures in there. But I got the water run back there anyway. So, you like being in the spotlight? Yeah. But anyway, so I'll leave it there for today's update.